right, people. So many of you watched that video about why women don't play fighting games, which was a reaction to Sonic Fox's tweet. And a lot has happened since then. And by a lot, I don't just mean a lot's happened on Twitter. I mean a lot's happened on that video. Holy moly, y'all have been engaging with that one like I couldn't believe. And in a good way. Some people gotta get shot and we shoot them. But we don't mourn their deaths because they deserve it. But the ones of you who are saying great, things that are really furthering the discussion and giving people insight into how things have been in the community of the woman is great. So I want to talk about some of them and throw you on the screen. So let's hit the button. It should be not that one. I have a new setting. Where are you, Twitter? That one. This is my new cam view for specifically this. Okay. This person, Tony, the TGR, we're going to read this out because it was really good. And this is a perspective that I saw that this person also saw too. So we're gonna talk about it here. So I'm gonna start this off from the perspective of an arcade rat group administrator also for those of you who are just listening, right? Many of you wrote essays in here, like legit essays. I feel like I'm grading your work. I need to give you credit for this. Let's try this again. So I'm going to start this off from the perspective of an arcade rat group administrator of the late 90s, early 2000s. A lot of arcade rats, and this is when I was playing in the arcades. This is the exact time when I was in the arcade. A lot of us arcade rats came from a space where it was, how to put it delicately, more safe to be away from home than at home for as long as humanly possible. We all know what that means. These cats were in abusive households, okay? These were abused kids that we're talking about here. This is going to be important. Remember that. Don't forget that. It included both boys and girls, and at different times, both were playing fighting games, beat 'em ups, music games, and driving games pretty intensively. But back then, losing meant running out of money. So on one hand, it was get good or get lost, which resulted in a lot of salty, bad sportsmanship. This is a piece we dudes have to own responsibility for. Because while it's just salt to us today, in the day where a loss just gets you a score adjustment on the ladder, which is significantly lower stakes, y'all. It's not like you stop owning the game until you repurchase it. Back then, it made us act loud and slammy violent. Exactly like the kinds of scary parents we all went to arcade to escape from. This was such an insightful, powerful comment. And yes, I've always suspected that was the case. But yeah, basically, abused kids become abusive to other people. That's why I don't glorify that culture of like tough. Like no, you're in pain. You're hurting. I see your pain. You don't have to inflict it on other people. You can stop the cycle. Okay, this is how we stop it. We're trying to stop it. It's easy to see how a younger lady in that position might just presume that's just how men are in the face of that. So a lot of people have a misconception. This is how dudes are, when it's not. Those are damaged, hurt people who are hurting and in pain. I see your pain. This person saw your pain too, because he saw and understood it. We're far better and more adjusted people today, thank God. But we did that. Girls would still gather around and play these games, but decidedly when us guys weren't playing them. Okay? So, other comments have said how in Japan they have women's only like arcade floors sometimes. To basically get gay with the guys. So we can kind of play with each other and not be worrying about like men getting all upset and angry in a way that makes us feel unsafe. So, let's continue. This is long. That's just the first part. There was a noticeable transition near the early 2010s, with 3DSs and Wii really doing a good job of rounding out core audiences and bringing more women into the fighting game market. It's hard for me to read. And then smartphones and scanner box puzzle games, I hate those too, decidedly consumed a lot of them because of the aesthetic, sensory design, and outright simplicity of games on them. And around this time, as someone in that pocket, I noticed that the fighting games that carried the elegance and simplicity tended to be the ones that attracted the female audience most. The two biggest girl FGs of the time being Soul Calibur 2, I fucking love that game. And surprisingly enough, DOA 224. I also fucking love DOA. So it's surprising to men, but not to us women. I was saying it the other day. The reason why DOA is so popular for us is because there's so many women who are strong of different personalities in that game. Sure, they're all sexy and hot, but we like being hot and sexy. That's the thing people don't understand. We like being hot. like we like it, okay? So that's not the problem. And these also are DOA character women are like, they are in control of their own destiny. They're not like these helpless damsels. They're fucking badasses. Okay? We love being badasses. So, yeah. Also being hot's nice too. Another big part of this modern NA girls in the FGC equation is hidden there. Right. A lot of us are going to be in DOA, Soul Calibur 2, and even BF in Japan. The games that fighting game girls are drawn to for the values they look for in those games are highly underserved titles and rarely appear in offline events compared to higher mechanical complexity games that appeal more to the core male players who built that scene around themselves. I'm more of a Ayane character and Helena. I love Helena. We also had that big Gamergate blowout around the mid 2010s where girl gamers female character design came highly under fire and was a major resplintering point in the fighting game gender battle. And this is still very evidently a factor today based on the feedback around Stellar Blade, a game that's not even released. It's released now, apart from a demo so far, and not even fighting game adjacent either. There's been a lash of inclusionist-based animation modifications, censorship to appease these complaints, and related review boards, pretty much exclusively to NA releases of these titles. I can't speak for all the dudes out there, but there's a bunch that took that as an attack on them. Like nobody's talking about taming down Harlequin novels. Those are the novels that we women, who like to read erotica, read. And this crowd really is about gatekeeping nerd culture from women for fear that their inclusion will result in more backlash and conflict. Yes, this is true. The folks who don't want people like me in the FGC are afraid, know that they're problematic. They know it. They know they're going to get backlash. That's the thing. So instead of not being so terrible, they decide to try and keep us out. Try to gatekeep us out of the community. Make us feel unwelcome. So, guys who want gaming to be a guys club. I have heard this from men's lips, and I'll never forget it. I actually lost respect for someone when they said, I was like, wow. I think you are an idiot now. I think you're an acting idiot. Like, I heard someone say that unironically, as if it was the best thing. I'm like, no, this is what? You're dumb as fuck. You're an idiot. To take it back from women. They're also egregiously stretching the actions of a few select women and applying those opinions like a wide brush to girl gamers. I don't know what he's talking about, which is also completely rude and unfair. I don't know what that's about. But also unrelated to gaming, except where we've all used it to replicate genuine interaction. replace genuine interaction with one another. I think there's a space where both men and women of current generations are feeling mutually isolated and rejected by one another. It's forgetting about us bi folks too, and gay folks and stuff. It's not just men and women. Like it's also women and women, men and men, and non-binary folks with everybody else. Like it's a lot. It's a societal fracture that's happening at the moment. Like neither of us is succeeding to deliver upon the expectations that have been thrust upon us by external factors or those we've been made to expect from one another. And where's the rest? It's gone. Maybe he edited it. Maybe he's writing more. I don't know. But yeah, I added what I wanted to add to the comment there as we went. So I feel like I've given the additional components I wanted to say there. And I think it's just helpful for those of you who don't know that history of like, this is what it was like in the arcades. This is the origin of the culture that we currently live in for FGC and larger gaming culture as a whole in NA. A lot of y'all didn't grow up in the scene like we did, so you don't know what it was like offline and think that things were just rough online. No, things were rough offline too. It wasn't a unique experience there. I'm looking for other ones. Bunny Breaker, we'll use her too. Let's see, Twitter. This one here. It's pretty good. Oh, fuck. Maybe I'll move myself over here. Oh, oops. I'll do this. Am I covering? Am I covering chat? I am, aren't I? Chat, where are you? You're too far below. There you are. Who's rating me? Akai, thank you for the raid. We're doing some heavy talk right now. We're making a video. So here we're continuing. Bunny Breaker also comments on my video here. Let's move this over here. Trans woman here. Fighting games are my jam. And I've played a lot of fighting games with women, both before and after I came out. My first girlfriend was really into fighting games, and we rinsed Capcom and Neo Geo fighting games with our custom printed, guide. Thanks, Akai. Good times for the raid. I had a party. Basically, women gamers were everywhere, but often stay silent online to not out themselves and don't feel comfortable going to in-person events. Okay? Because these environments need to be safe and inclusive and not creepy or gatekeepy, where sexism isn't really an issue or tolerated. This is really important. If you tolerate creepy, gatekeeping, sexist behavior of your homies and you tolerate it, you're not going to see us. You're not going to see women there. We'll just leave. We'll quietly walk out the fucking door. That's what will happen. Seeing if there are any other ones. There's another essay. A lot of y'all wrote essays. We're gonna scroll. I'm gonna keep it up on the screen. Another good one from Kendrick here. It's just great. Just so many people are coming in, chiming in. Kendrick, is this your essay? Okay, wait, Kendrick, but Basha, where are you? Let's find you. I don't know what your YouTube name is. No, I love that y'all are writing essays in here. It's why women don't play fighting games. change that. Change that. There, that's better. That's better. It's a better one. Long video. Where did you write an essay? Which video was that? There was someone who talked about like Lily Pichu. It's a play video. Word. Got it. I probably liked it already. I hope I did. Another good one. When I talk about this or mention this, there are a bunch of people coming out of the nowhere to say how most men are here to just play the game and don't care if you're a woman. It's so frustrating time to talk about this topic because it's clear to many of us that a lot of guys do fucking care. A lot, actually. And the trans woman here, freaking in the comments. So they're saying how their local scene's been pretty nice to them. And they've been inclusive, kept them around. And going to be different than cisgender femme person deals with? Yeah. It might be. I mean, it depends. I hope is that, yeah, for women. Yep. Another thing I noticed in Japan was the prevalence of female DJs. You just don't see that as much in UK or European clubs. So people even in Europe were noticing how this resonated with them too. DOA, another one. A lot of women and females. FYI, y'all, when you want to talk about women, just call us women. Don't call us females. Make you sound like you're an incel. Don't. I'm just giving you a tip, okay? Don't call us the females. Call us the women. Okay? We don't go around saying those males over there. We say those boys. Call you boys. Yeah, that makes sense, Ethan. Let's change the song. This is not the right song for this. You'd be saying assign female at birth up in here. I've moved away from that, actually. I wouldn't use those terms anymore. It's just another way of like misgendering a person effectively. So it's better to just refer to them what they are now, whatever that is. Because it's not really relevant unless you're a medical doctor, or like a physical like a doctor like me. Unless I'm treating you and I need to know that because it's part of your care. It doesn't add anything to the descriptor. Trans femme, for instance, already implies what someone's. I'm just saying how people are using it. You know how there's the euphemism treadmill, where like a term will become co-opted by others to become bad again? That's what's happening with that phrase. People are like using ABAB or AMAB as a way to exclude women in this way. You want to hear it in the dance community? Yeah, I mean, I don't know which community you're talking about. I'm giving you the heads up. Just so you know, this is what's coming up. This is what's coming down the pipe when things change, or at least have your ears open to like, how are we using that? How is AFAB relevant here? Do we just mean women? Right? Is it reasonable to blame the casual audience that came mainly FBS's? Say more, Firebird. The show that Sopranos are they're I mean, like, what, you don't like them? They're annoying? There are a lot of ladies who play fighting games online, but these women would never attend offline events. I'll say some of them won't because they know how harassed they'll get. DOA has a ton of girls playing. A lot of them, folks I friended on Tekken Tag 2, turn out to be ladies. Until we get more proactive at calling out misogyny on and offline, women will only show up in small numbers. Core burns your ball and such. Yeah, it takes a lot to push through that stuff. You don't understand? Don't want to say complicated? Got it. Okay, this is another essay. What? Someone respond to this? Oh, this is about Yakuza. It's actually a good comment too. Fucking chat bear. What are these comments even about? They're responding to the video. LDLs, have you seen this video yet? Here, go watch the video. You seen it? Okay, you've seen it. Okay. I think esports in general tend to favor the more ego-driven person because competitive games are, well, competitive. I'm always on your feed now. You can't avoid me now. For better or worse, I've noticed more men to be more ego-driven and competitive, which can actually lead to we're not going to read all this. This is too much. It meanders a little bit. They get some of the points, some of the other points. I'm also going to talk about all the comments that I have shot. I've shot so many people here. So there is a fucking graveyard of people who I have shot in this comment thread. I'm just firing off shots on the regular. And now we got Yaya in there shooting y'all bitch ass motherfuckers too. So there are two of us. And you got 99 Biff who's also shooting y'all motherfuckers. But he ain't around often. So he's probably not shooting you as much as I would be. Or as Yaya's going to be. But yeah, y'all getting shot out here.